Part 4, setting up Autocrat. So at this point, I'm going to assume that you have done the first few steps. The Autocrat is the part that people tend to be a little bit less confident about if they've never used Microsoft Excel's mail merge feature with Microsoft Word, for example. But it's not really that complicated. I'm going to take you through it and show you exactly how I would set it up. You've got these same step-by-step instructions in your instruction sheet, but I think sometimes it's more helpful to just kind of watch somebody walk through it. So I'm going to go back to my Google Sheet, and in my extensions menu, if you do not already have Autocrat, this is where you go to get that add-on, but I already have it, so I'm going to click Launch. And now I'm going to set up the process of this merge job. So I'm going to click New Job. And it says duplicate merge sheet headers found. Your job may not run correctly if resolved. Duplicate values, email address. So what I'm going to do to fix that, I'm going to click OK and close out of here. I'm just going to change this to student email address. So I'm going to click Launch. New job. And I'm just going to name this, like I've named everything else, Autocrat sample. Now, as you can see, I use this quite a lot. These are the templates that I most recently used at the end of the school year. But we've just created one in the previous video. So I'm going to click From Drive. And here is that document that I created. So Autocrat sample response. I'm going to click Next. Now, this is where we connect all these things that we have created. Student name is going to be the same as student name. Thesis is thesis. Hook is going to be hook. Commentary is going to be commentary. And notice up here at the top, it'll kind of help you keep track. So now I've got all of those connected. I'm going to click Next. What do I want the file to be named? When it creates the new document, what is the new document going to be named? So I'm going to name it Autocrat sample. And then what I like to do, it says here you can use tags aligned to merge sheet column headers. I like to pull in the student name. Just because that way it names the file something specific. And sometimes I also put in the date if it's an essay that I'm going to be doing year after year after year, just, you know, to help me kind of keep it organized. Usually I'm going to tell mine to create it as a Google Docs. If I am being picky, I'll create it as a PDF. So I'm going to click Next now. And remember earlier, I created my folder Autocrat sample. This is going to sort everything into Autocrat sample. We're going to skip this step, the dynamic folder reference. If you are really, really interested in finding out more about that, you can click on the help guide. But for most of you, you don't need it. So I'm not going to complicate things. Same thing with the merge conditionals. Most of you will never need that, so I'm going to skip that. If it's something that you really want to learn more about, click on the help guide. Okay, so sharing the document. Maybe you just want this for yourself. I actually do that sometimes, and I just create the document so that I have it myself. And if I need to share it later, I can, but I don't do it automatically. But with my English 101 students, I do like to share the doc. So I'm going to click share doc. I can make it a view only, a comment only. Anyone can edit it. Anyone can view it. So I'm going to do a view only. Can they reshare it? That's up to you. Yes or no. I don't generally care if they share their own grade because that wouldn't really be that different than me passing them back and them holding the paper up. So the two, I'm going to pull the student email address. Let me just paste that. The subject, your Autocrat sample response has been scored. Thank you. Student name. Okay. Now, run on form trigger. What this means is if I click yes, then that means that every time I score a student's response, it's going to automatically go ahead and create and share that document. Sometimes, though, I don't want the kids to know what their scores are until I'm finished. Usually I like to hold off on sharing the docs until I've put their grades in Infinite Campus because otherwise I get pelted with messages and I like to just share it all at the same time. So, if you click yes, it'll do it automatically. If you click no, we're going to do it manually, which I'm going to show you in just a second. You can also set it to run on a time trigger so that like at 3 p.m. each day or whatever, it will do it. So I'm going to click save. And because I have not set it to run on the form trigger, I'm going to click the play button to run the job that I just created. Now, if you look over here at the side, you can see it's created some new cells in my spreadsheet. It's running my sample. 2 rows are going to be merged. And as you can see now, it's created a key for that. And I've got a link for the first one. And let me just close that. So document successfully created, document successfully merged. It sent the email to my Gmail address. And it tells me that it was run at such and such time and date. So now I can click on that document to look and see what I've got. And now Sam P. student has received his document. It's named Autocrat Sample, Sam P. student. He's got his thesis score, he's got his hook score, he's got his commentary, and he knows what day and time I graded his essay. So there you go, folks. That's how I use Autocrat to score my student essays. It's really not that difficult. I encourage you to give it a try. It really saves me so much time. And what I love is now I can go back to these spreadsheets year after year and I can start comparing students year by year, or I can compare my students' performance on, say, their thesis score at the beginning of the year to their thesis score at the end of the year. And it has really been handy. So give it a try. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.